pada Rustia faculty sebab invited me untuk bagi this briefing, and terima kasih juga pada semua yang hadir pada pagi ini lah. My topic today is writing and presentation of academic proposal. So for your info, what I'm going to do is to share my experience when I did my PhD last time, and based on my experience supervising our student, right, the last 10, 11 years. So I treat this as a sharing session. I'm not saying that what I'm going to share with you is the best one, but if in any way it benefits you and help you in your study, so I will be very happy. All right. Uh, Throughout the presentation, if you have any questions, okay, you need me to clarify, just raise your hand or interrupt me anytime. All right. Just wondering, do you see my screen?
Ya, nampak Prof.
Nampak ya? All right. So, okay. This is the outline of presentation. I will give a brief introduction. Then we look into the study process. Okay. I'll discuss with you of what does it mean by a good academic proposal. Then what does it take to for an academic proposal to be considered good in terms of the content. Then presenting your academic proposal, presentations of an academic proposal, and we'll discuss about uh, what do we consider as poorly written academic proposal, and discuss some issues related to this academic proposal. All right, what is academic proposal? Academic proposal describes in detail the research that you want to undertake, the stages of your research, and you're planning on how to complete your study. So the academic proposal should give the reader an idea of what you are doing, detail of the research. Then the stages, all right, and planning in terms of you should present your Gantt chart, all right, which clearly show the progress timeline of your research, okay, from the start, okay, to the collections of data, the time you will take to basically do the data analysis and presentations of your viva voce. At UMS, the academic proposal refers to the preparation for proposal defense. So there is one stage in your study at UMS that you will have to present your progress of your study. Okay, this is what we call the proposal defense. And over here, for PhD students, we require them to present their PD, to do their PD within the first 2 semesters. And for the master student, within the first semester of your study. So you are given 2 semesters, okay, to prepare for your proposal defense if you're doing PhD. And if you're doing a master, then at least we expect it to be at the end of your first semester. Why is it important? Because you will be allowed to proceed with your data collections after passing your PD. All right. So before you do your data collection, you have to pass your PD first. That is why if you look into the what I normally advise my student, if he or she is doing PhD, the first 6 months or the first 2 semesters, all right, I just advise them to read, okay, especially the first semester. You just read and read, because you are expected to develop your knowledge about the subject matter you are doing, right? Especially the theoretical part and what has been researched, okay, on the subject you're doing, okay, by previous researchers. Master student won't have that luxury of time. So at least if you're doing master, then take the first 3 months, okay, for you to just read and read. right? So for PhD students, my advice normally the first semester you just read. You just read, take note. Okay. And in the second semester, then you start writing. Okay. You start writing properly. Then in preparation for your PD. Okay. At the end of uh, second semester. So if you're doing master, then the first 3 months you just read. The second 3 months you compile your literature review LR, then you start writing and preparing for your PD. I believe some of you gone through this process already. Before you come to UMS, you have to apply, and normally during the application, we want you to give us your research proposal. Then you come for your study, okay, register, and if you're doing PhD, do your proposal defense in second semester at least. If you're doing your master, then we expect you to do your PD at the end of first semester. Then you pass your proposal defense, you proceed with your data collection. Then after data collection, you do your data analysis. Data collection will take a good maybe 1 semester. Then data analysis will take a good about 1 semester for you to write. That is just expectation. Then after that, prepare for your pre-viva. Then after your pre-viva, you will be attending your viva voce, and after that you will graduate. Right? Okay. What constitute a good academic proposal? Based on Robson 1993, a good academic proposal contain this element. All right. First, it is understandable and straightforward. It should clearly explain the 4W1 age where applied. Okay. Why, when, who, where. Okay. How, and the research aims and significance of the study are clearly stated. Right. Then it should communicate the content easily. Try to use easily understood language or terminologies. Avoid complicated sentences. I noticed in the past sometimes students try to use bombastic, okay, or jargons, all right, to to the extent that sometimes it deviate from the original meaning. Maybe at the proposal stage, try to use words, sentences which can be easily understood by the reader, especially by your supervisor. It is well organized and systematic. All right. At UMS, we have our writing format which you should follow. Then its research topic is researchable. Uh, it will be good, okay, if the research topic is specific and researchable. All right. You're not actually try to solve the problem of the world. All right. No matter how, sometimes if you're doing PhD especially, all right, the topic must be very specific. All right, it cannot be too general. It can be purely academic, okay, or it can be applied research. All right. It is persuasive. You should be able to persuade your supervisors and examiners brilliantly. What does it mean here is that try to make your study, okay, your as attractive as possible. The issues you're especially master, because normally master we allow replicating of study. All right, the one that has been done in the past in other country, you can do it in the context of Malaysia. For PhD, normally we expect some novelty. We don't allow a simple replication, right? We normally expect uh, some novelty, okay, if you're doing PhD, maybe in the form in the form of the theory, all right, or maybe in the form of the approach, the research approach, okay, or maybe depending on the research gap. All right. The issue is the issue you're analyzing in your PhD is something which has not been done in the past. But regardless, all right, whether it is replications, all right, or a new thing, try to make the study persuasive, all right, and this can only be done if you write your report uh, properly. Then it is well planned and vigilantly written, able to show in-depth understanding or the level of intelligence. Then, of course, we expect you to show your Gantt chart. The typical research proposal shall have this. It has title, abstract, the the first three chapters. Chapter 1, introduction. Chapter 2, the LR, literature review. Chapter 3, research methodology, references, and Gantt chart. Title. The research title should be specific, brief, clear, and informative. Title, but don't think too much about title at the early part of your study. Because what normally happen is during the viva voce, after listening to the content of the presentations by the student, the committee will discuss about the title as well. So, but try to give a specific, brief, concise, clear, and informative title. Although it is subject to change. Okay, normally the one of the element that examiners will be asked to comment is on the title, right? But as I mentioned to you during the early stage of your study, there's no need for you to be so worried about the title. Just make sure that your title can reflect the content of your thesis. A good research title will attract interest and invite people to read your proposal, especially your supervisor. So normally we will be attracted with the uh, nicely written, okay, or properly written title, right? So if the title is catchy enough, it will trigger interest to the reader to read your report. And again, research is deemed preliminary to allow for focus. It is subject to change. This is what I meant just now. It is meant for you to basically to make sure the student to focus, all right? But the exact title will be discussed and elaborated during viva voce. So after the viva voce, you may or may not having the same research title, okay, for your final PhD. The abstract, as usual, abstract should provide a concise and summarized versions of the research you want to do, including a brief background of the study, the research methods you want to use, the significance of your study, and the expected outcome of your study. So try to include all these elements whenever you write your abstract. That is why I advise students normally to write the abstract after they finish uh, the report. All right, because when the report you will be doing together with your supervisor, and it will make it more easier for you to write the abstract properly after you finish your report. All right, so far okay. Any question? I hope my explanation is clear. Chapter 1, Introduction. So in the introductions, we expect the students to give background of the study. Uh, this normally you take from the limited literature review that you have done. Okay, remember this is a preliminary stage, but as I mentioned to you, all right, you in the background you have chapter 1, which is introduction, and chapter 2 is the literature review. There's no need for you to put in all the literature review that you have read in chapter 1. Try to be selective. Okay, choose the one that relate directly to your research. All right, enough to strengthen or to create interest okay, towards the reader, all right, to understand the issue you are analyzing, you want to study, and give them the sense of importance, okay, of your study. All right. So that is for background. It should be a concise literature review. Uh, a long-winded writing of literature LR you can do in second chapter. All right. Problem statement. This is the most important thing I believe. Okay. In chapter one, because this will basically give the idea to the reader why you conduct the research. What actually the research gap that you want to address? What is the shortcomings of the past research? What the other past research has not done yet? Okay, related to your study, right? And that also will show the importance of your study. Research objective are all what you want to achieve, accomplish from the study. Then research questions, which forms the basis on which research is evaluated. The research is evaluated. Sorry, the answer should address the problem statement and possible to be operationalized. All right. So make sure that from research objective, research questions, you can do your hypothesis testing. All right. You can perform research uh, on the questions that you want to address. Then highlight the significance of the study, why the study is important and worth doing. Uh, there are few significance, okay, normally appear in uh, thesis, okay, things like it will increase or enhance the body of knowledge. All right, if possible, try to be more specific, okay, on how it address the problem, okay, how does it benefit the policymaker, for instance. All right, just don't just give a very general statement. Try to be as specific as possible. Otherwise it will sound superficial, okay, in terms of the significance of the study. And don't forget to put the scope of study or terminologies. All right. Sometimes students forgotten uh, to write, okay, to inform the readers. All right. The scope of their study and the terminologies. Not only at this stage, but the last two uh, the last two thesis, okay, I evaluated, okay, not from this university, not from UMS, from other university. All right, the student didn't put the terminologies. All right, and another one didn't really explain the scope of the study. So sometimes student forgotten, and for that matter, even their supervisors forgotten. All right, the scope and the terminologies is very important because it guides you, especially terminologies. Right, we want to know your definitions. Okay, whenever you use a term, all right, because a similar term may be used differently in other contexts. So don't forget to write down your scope of study as well as the terminologies. All right, LR literature review in chapter 2. LR should provide review on past research findings, particularly academic journals and articles. So uh, it is very important for you to read articles because normally we assume academic journals or articles are peer-reviewed articles. All right. Uh, so in terms of the weight of the resources, okay, the source of reference, then we give a higher weight to academic journals or articles than books. All right. The other sources like newspaper, okay, magazine, which are not peer reviewed, all right, may be used, okay, to as supplement, but cannot be used as a major argument, all right, support for your uh, study, all right. So try to use or try to get as many journals articles as possible. And when you collect your LR, all right, make sure the LR, the articles relevant to your research objective. Okay, it helps you to identify your research gaps, right? And it can help you to develop your research framework and define your research variables. All right, especially if you're doing a time series data analysis. So in a time series data analysis, normally you want to identify the variables. So these variables should be identified through past research. Okay, uh, the same thing goes to research framework. That is why I said sometime in if you're doing a PhD, the novelty of your research sometimes uh, based on the research framework. Okay, you propose a different way of analyzing, okay, or researching the uh, the the topic, okay, the issue you are studying. Avoid simple reporting, instead synthesize the past findings. The common mistake among students is that they normally just simply reporting the past studies. All right. A says this, one paragraph, then B says this in second paragraph, C says this in third paragraph. That will sounds like you're reading newspaper, right? Instead, what to make the research more interesting, I mean the LR more interesting, students should synthesize the past findings. All right. A found this one, which was supported by B, but study by C shows otherwise. All right. So rather than you report in chronological form, okay, A, B, C, D, all right, you should synthesize the past research. That will make the study more interesting. All right. And in order to do that, okay, you have to compile your articles properly, okay, organize your articles properly, which should allow you to always refer to the articles in future. All right. Remember I say you the first 6 months, okay, or the first 3 months you just read and read. When I say that, okay, I don't expect students to just read, okay, I expect them to take notes. All right, and compile what you have read. Okay, only if you organize your LR collection, then you will be able to proceed to the second stage, which is planning your writing. Okay, if you just read, okay, you finish reading 30 articles in a day, but if you don't take note, then there is high chance for you to forget what you have read. Right. So if you don't take a proper uh, notes, okay, then the chances for you to be able to recall what you have read, okay, will be very, very slim. When I did my study last time, okay, this is the examples of my collection, right? So can you see this PDF? Hello, can you see this selected articles on portfolio evaluation?
No, Prof, no.
You don't. This is the problem with uh, when
Only
I
a slide. Okay, now
Uh,
they have a
okay
PDF.
already.
okay, you see the PDF, right? All right. So this is the examples of my collections. All right. So you can see here. This is how I take the notes. Okay, whenever I read the article. So this represent the theme, okay, the main topic of the article. In this example is portfolio evaluation, and this is the authors. In the past, we don't have the Mandalay, okay. We don't have the endnotes, so we have to do it manually. So whenever I read article, okay, I copy the author's name, okay, and journal uh, completely, and ready for it to be copied to the reference list. The main objective and motivations. So I highlight here the objective of the paper, the motivations. So the objective will allow me to basically know, okay, what being researched by these people. In a way, later it will help me to identify the research gap. All right. Then data and methodology. All right. You see, I'll take note what the data being used by the researchers, the methodology they use. All right. And over here is the finding and conclusion. All right. So all this actually you can just copy and paste. All right. There's no need for you to rewrite them because this is the data collection stage. You shouldn't take so much time uh, rewriting the content. All right. So what you need to do, just read the article, summarize it whenever possible, just copy and paste into here. All right. So you have to do this for every single article that you have read. So in my case, last time, okay, I don't know whether you can see my screen or not, but I can show you what I've done. Okay, hold on, eh? So scholarly, so PhD. Hold on, bear with me. Share, share content. All right. Writing plan. Hold on. Microsoft Word. All right. Do you see the Microsoft Word? Hello.
No, no have, bro.
Don't have. Try again, eh? Stop sharing. All right. I'm going to share again the Microsoft Word here. Do you see it? Maybe it take time because this is 93 pages. Can you see my Word document?
Yes, can see.
You can see, yeah? All right. So if you notice here, okay, this is my collection last time. And this is only for one subtopic on portfolio valuations. So for this one, I read 110 articles related to portfolio valuation. All right. And depending on your study, but I will advise you to basically arrange the article based on the earliest study, okay, right up to the current study, especially if you're doing PhD. I did my mistake last time because initially I read the latest research. But the problem is, if you read the latest research, you you ignore the fact that you ignore the development of the theory. You follow? It will make it difficult for you to appreciate or to understand the theory, especially. All right. So I wasted about 3 months, okay, reading the latest research. But after 2 months, I noticed that I don't really understand what has been discussed about the portfolio evaluation. Then I changed, okay, my approach. What I did, I searched for the first research, okay, the first paper related to portfolio valuation, and the one of the one of the first paper written on portfolio valuations was by Harry Markowitz. All right, so I have to read how the first paper which discover the portfolio theory. Then after that, it makes it easier for me to understand how the theory develop. All right, so if you happen to experience the same thing like what I experienced last time, I read the latest article, I don't understand. Okay, so go back to the original theory. All right, then maybe you will be able to see how the theory develop. Okay, from one factor, two factor, three factor model. Okay, from simple regressions to multiple regressions, whatever it is. All right. But of more important is you have to record, okay, what you have read. And this is how I did it. Okay, I have a main objective, motivations, I have the data methodology, and the finding. Okay, and whenever you notice, okay, certain paper is important, all right, uh, try to mark. Okay, you can mark on the collection here the paper that you think very important for you to read again. As what I did, okay, I mark a 3 star. All right. Normally, you have to find a seminal paper. Okay, one paper which is uh, which you can use, okay, as a main reference. All right. So in my case, when I look into the portfolio theory, right, there are a few papers, okay, become the seminal paper and widely cited by researchers. So you can actually mark them, okay, so that you know that these are the paper that you probably want to read thoroughly again, okay, in future. All right. So try to have something like this, okay. It allows you to to remember, okay, what you have read, and more importantly, later on, okay, you go back and read again. All right. uh, at the preliminary round of reading, you can just scan the articles. Okay, uh, you can read as many articles in a day as possible, but more importantly is you try to record, okay, whatever that you have read. Okay, and since I believe you will get your uh, articles via online, so whenever you uh, download, change the name, okay, use the same, try to use the title of the paper. Okay, this will allow you to search for the paper letter. All right. Since this is WebEx, I don't think so. If I go to my folder, you can see my folder. You don't see my folder, right? Do you see my folder here?
No, we don't.
I don't think so. All right. Let me check whether I can share this folder with you or not. Hold on. Do you see my folder?
Yes.
You see my folder. Okay, good.
Yeah.
All right. For instance, like this paper, a critique of the asset pricing theories test. Okay. So by right, okay, you should be able to find it here. Okay. So whenever I need to read it, okay, I can read. I can go back and read uh, the paper again. So try to name, okay, try to name the paper, the file name, okay, using, all right, using the actual title of the paper. That will allow you to go back and retrieve the paper whenever you need it. Why is this one important? Okay, this one is important because of this. Do you see my slide?
Yes.
Okay. You have, remember, I advise you not to simply report your LR. Okay, try to synthesize them. And how to synthesize them is by having this writing plan. Do you see the example of this writing plan? Can you see? Chapter 2 writing plan.
Yes, yes, Prof.
Yes, Prof.
All right. So this is how you plan your writing. Okay. So first you identify the main reference. Okay. Then the issue the researchers discuss, and what are the past comments by past researchers, okay, on that particular topic. All right. I give you example like the portfolio theory started with Markowitz 1952. Then there was a paper written by Tobin. Okay, but the major breakthrough, okay, when Sharp and Lindner come out with CAPM theory. All right, and for this CAPM theory, these are the people who have commented, who have analyzed, okay, and who have criticized, okay, the CAPM. And from CAPM, it grows, it come out ICAPM, integrated CAPM. Okay, then after that, it developed into portfolio performance measures. All right, based on these three researcher. Then later it was applied in fund managers performance. So you can see the development of the theory from the original, okay, until how it developed, okay, to the time that I wrote the thesis. And you can see also here those past researchers who have commented and criticized the theory. All right. So this will allows you to basically avoid the reporting, because for every uh, single topic here, you can synthesize, okay, the past finding and comment based on the finding from all these researchers. All right. Okay. So important for you to I would advise you to do your writing plan properly. Okay, try to do like this, right? Identify the main reference, then see how the theory develop. Okay, then from your reading, you should be able to find who have commented on the past researchers. All right, and uh, get idea of how the past researchers have seen or uh, argued, okay, on the topic that you're researching for. Okay, you see my slide? Chapter 3, research methodology.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so in research methodology, then we expect you to come out with your theoretical framework, explain the underlying theory. Is the study is a qualitative or quantitative? Sometimes students do a mixed method, okay, combining the qualitative and quantitative. Which come first very much depends on what you're doing. All right. Mixed research normally is done to strengthen a certain approach, okay, or to research the issue deeper, okay, like what I did my in my PhD. I My PhD is on the performance valuations of Islamic funds. All right. So it is a mixed method using quantitative as well as qualitative. All right. From the quantitative, I can see how the ethical fund perform in comparison with the conventional funds. All right. But nothing, okay, in the time series data uh, that could tell me why the trend is like that. What contribute to that factor? Okay. So in order to do that, okay, I have to interview the fund managers. All right. So that was what I did. Okay. Uh, I look into the performance of the ethical funds, Islamic fund as well. Then, in order to find out the reason why Islamic and ethical funds behave like that, okay, I have to interview the fund managers, all right, and get the insight of the operations, okay, and the uh, formations of ethical funds. Then population and sampling. Who is your populations? Okay, what is the sampling techniques? Okay, it can be random sampling, convenience sampling, snowballing, etc., etc. How you choose your sample? Okay, how many respondents you are taking? All right, and types of data, either primary, secondary, numerical, or ordinal. Then the data collection method. Okay, what is your research instrument? Are you using survey, interview, okay, time series data, all right, uh, observations, okay, are you using focus group, okay, online or email questionnaire, all right. Most students normally using this Google form, okay, faster and wider reach to target respondent. Then data analysis method, okay, how you analyze your data. Okay, if you're doing quantitative, okay, is it regression analysis, SEM, PLS, modeling, whatever, okay. If you're doing qualitative analysis, then content analysis, okay, interview analysis, or as I mentioned to you, you can apply or you can combine both techniques. References. There is a difference between references and bibliography. References usually come out at the end of a text, all right, and should contain only those works cited within the text. All right. Bibliography refers to any list of reference that you read. Okay. You may or may not cite, okay, in your uh, text. All right. To be safe, just use bibliography. Okay, because examiner normally will cross check. Okay, whenever you cite certain author, okay, in your text, normally we look into your reference. All right. So we expect whatever you cite, okay, in your text, the reference should appear in the reference or bibliography list. Okay. If it is not, then it may create suspicion that you probably copy some other people's work. All right. So it is very important for you to make sure for every single author you cite their work in the text, the list, okay, should be the author should appear in the reference or bibliography list. Okay, this is what I meant just now. All right, this is the Gantt chart. Okay, you should have a target on when you want to accomplish a certain task. Okay, the easiest way is by having the topic. All right, let's say you have 6 topics. All right, from the introduction to conclusion. All right, and you expect to finish your study within 2 years, okay, after the proposal defense. All right, so maybe chapter 1, 2, and 3 you done already. Okay, so now you look forward to do your research, okay, your field work, and this field work you expect to take about 2 months. All right, then after field work, okay, you will be writing, you'll give your time 4 months to do the research, so that is already 6 months. All right, then another 3 months for you to write the draft of your chapter 4 and 5. Okay, so try to have this target, all right? Because if you follow, okay, the target that you have set, the chances for you to finish your study on time will be greater. Okay, so try to do the target based on chapter. In my case, when I did my PhD, I roughly give about 3 months, okay, to finish one chapter. All right, so I strictly follow the timeline. After 3 years, I finish everything. Okay. All right. At UMS, we have our UMS writing style. So make sure you download this. Do you see my PDF here?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes.
So this one you can get or you can download from Postgraduate Center website. All right. So make sure you follow this guideline. Okay. What font to use? Okay. The all these things. Okay. The size, the font, okay, the margin, blah 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 blah. Okay. You can get it from here. Then oral presentation, please liaise with your faculty for your PD presentation. Enough time should be given for preparations of your PD slides and for the examiners to read your PD draft. Please time your presentation properly and allow for more questions and answer. All right. So once you have prepared your draft, okay, PD draft, then submit, then contact the faculty and arrange for PD presentations. Normally we give at least around 1 month, okay, for the examiner to read, okay. Maybe in a certain case, if it is so urgent, okay, less than 1 month, all right. But I guess faculty will want the examiner to have a proper, sufficient time to read uh, your draft, okay, PD. So maybe if you plan, okay, just take about say 4 to 6 weeks, okay, for you to submit, okay, and present your PD. And make sure that you have enough slides, okay, optimum number of slide, okay, for you to present, because I think the time is only about half an hour to 45 minutes presentation. All right. So maximum numbers of slides should be around 30. Okay. If you have 45 minutes, if it is 30 minutes, then maybe only around 20 slides. Okay. 15 to 20 slides. Okay. Uh, since this is a PD stage, you should focus, okay, or you should expect more time given to Q&A. All right. And bear in mind, PD is normally to help students, not to criticize their work. Of course, in order for examiners to improve your work, they have uh, to to critique, okay, what to comment, okay, your draft, okay. But never, okay, in the mind of examiners, they want to ridicule what you are doing, okay, or want to embarrass you. Never, okay. Their intention is not is very honest, okay. They want to help you improvising your work. All right. So take the challenge, okay. Try to get and expect as many questions as possible. All right. So if you're given 30 minutes, all right, try to finish within 20. Try to finish, okay, 20 to 30 minutes and allow for more Q and A. The more comment, the better it is for you, because this is PD stage. It is good for you to be embarrassed now rather than during your Viva. All right. So try to give the best, okay, in your PD, but do expect critics, okay, from examiners. All right. Uh, if your study is good enough, no corrections, all right, or no critics, then fine, okay. But do not feel bad, all right, frustrated, shy, okay, when examiners give their comment, all right. Always take it constructively. Then during the presentation, okay, communicate, show passion, connect with your audience, make eye contact, all right. Like these sessions, I always prefer to be face to face, all right. It's just unfortunate that we are in this MCO situation, so I have to talk by myself in my room, okay. But whenever possible, I would like to see the audience, okay, and make eye contact with them, all right. Then slide design, prepare your slide nicely. Don't combine font, okay. Try to use a proper font color, okay. Normally students overlook, they have a dark background, okay, and the font is also dark, okay. So you don't see the font, okay, you don't see the sentences, okay, the words, okay, clearly, all right. So try to use contrast, okay. If the background is too dark, okay, then use contrast color, okay, so that the all the words, okay, stands out, okay. Don't use too many decorations on your slide, okay. Timing, okay, observe the time limit. As I mentioned to you, if you're given 2 hours, okay, for your PD, try to present, okay, as concise, shorter as possible. Try to give more time for Q&A, all right. You benefit more, okay, if you get more comments, all right, rather than you take, okay, most of the time for you uh, to present your thesis, PD. Flow, structure your presentation. Be confident. Don't read from your slide. Okay. One common mistake among students, sometimes we notice them reading from their uh, text, right, from their slide. So try to avoid that. Okay. Body language. Watch out for non-verbal communications. All right. Uh, Body language tells a lot about you and your study. Okay. If you are the one who really, okay, did the study, then your level of confidence, okay, will be very high, okay. Your eye contact will be very sharp, all right, and your body language will tell the examiner that you are confident, okay, and the paper is written by you yourself, okay. So body language tells a lot about the student, okay, when they give presentation. Voice, use your voice effectively, okay. Don't, if possible, don't just like a machine gun, pat, 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 all right. Try to stop, okay. Use different tone to emphasize the significance or the importance of your content, okay. Don't use monotonous tone, all right. And try to practice, okay. Practice and practice before you meet the examiner. Little bit about what constitute a poorly written academic proposal. Relationship between the title and the research objective is not clear, or the proposed methodology does not lead to the accomplishment of the research objective. All right, I find this quite common, okay, among students. The problem statement is not clear, confusing sometimes. The research objective not clear. All right, so it 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 basically uh, it wonder the it caused wonder, okay, among examiners of what actually the students want to do. With regard to problem statement, sometimes students write 3-4 pages, okay, under the subtopic of problem statement. I'm okay as long as at the end of the uh, subtopic, I know what the student is doing. The normal practice in UK is that normally after we elaborate the problem statement, at the end of it, we tell, okay, we summarize, okay, what is the problem statement so that the reader know, okay, what you are doing, right? Rather than you have a 3 pages long of problem statement elaboration, explanation, but at the end of it, people do not know what is actually your problem, okay? So it doesn't matter whether you want to write 3 pages, 4 pages, or even 1 pages, as long as the reader able to know, okay, to clearly get what the problem statement you want, what the problem you want to address. The LR is insufficient, not well organized, very boring to read, or very superficial. So try to avoid this, especially if you're doing PhD. All right. Sometimes students ask how many papers, how many articles, okay, should be read, okay, by student. As far as I know, there's no rule of thumb of how many articles because it depends on the subject matter. All right, but a widely researched topic, okay, you should have more than 100 or around 200 readings, okay, if it is a widely researched topic. All right, I gave you example in my case, a topic on portfolio valuations, okay, that is already 100 over papers that I've read. Okay, there's another topic on ethical funds, okay, that easily around 80 plus papers. Okay, and another topic on Malaysian stock market. All right. So total, I read about nearly 300 materials. Okay, when I did my PhD. But in my opinion, okay, based on past experience, all right, I normally expect students, PhD students, to read at least 150 papers. Okay, uh, total. Okay, I mean, all right, at least lah. Okay, 120, 130, at least I will expect. All right, but again, it depends on the subject matter. All right, whether it has been widely researched in the past or maybe something new. Okay, or for certain reason. Okay, there are limited academic works or academic research on that particular topic. The research framework is vague or no underlying theory to support the research framework. So as I mentioned to you, normally examiners look for underlying theory. So whenever you do academic research, make sure that you identify the underlying theory. All right, the underlying theory will basically help you to make sure that, okay, your research framework is proper. Okay, that you have a basis, okay, whenever you want to proceed with your uh, analysis. Okay, develop your questionnaire. All right, develop your hypothesis. Okay, and do the uh, regressions. Okay, analysis, whatever. The flow of idea or writing style is lacking cohesion, either too brief, long-winded, okay, repetitive, or lack of focus. So the flow of idea, okay, make sure that from one paragraph, one topic, from one chapter to another chapter, there is a flow to it. From one subtopic to another subtopic, there is a proper flow. All right. Don't leave it hanging. Okay. One subtopic you're talking about this issue, another subtopic you're talking about something else. All right. Try to build, okay, a relationship between the first subtopic to the second subtopic to the third subtopic, and so on, so fourth. Okay. The concerns that normally students have, okay, be ready mentally, physically, and financially. There's no need for me to tell you this, okay? But in order for you to be able to do your study properly, you should be you should take care of your health, okay? Uh, your mental, okay, your physical, and of course, one of the most important thing is the financial. All right. Uh, I normally ask students to basically don't push themselves. All right. Uh, Try to enjoy your study. Okay. Don't force yourself. All right. Uh, you should enjoy your study, especially if you the n- the thing that I remember the most is during the data collection. All right. Meeting, trying to get the download the data from data stream. Okay, whereby I have to be in library, okay, until midnight, okay, during winter. All right. Then download the data, the first set of data, it was useless. Okay, then I have to redo it again, queuing. All right. Then come down to KL, interview all the uh, fund managers, got rejected the last minute. All right, those are the problems, okay, the hiccups, okay, the obstacle. But again, if you look at it, okay, that is part and parcel of your uh, study, okay, experience. And instead of looking to that negatively, okay, always try to look into the positive side of it. Okay, I got in one case, okay, I call up the fund managers in the morning. I was in Putrajaya, and the interview should take place in KL, somewhere in KL. So in the morning, I call them up, okay, and want to reconfirm, okay, the appointment, and they say yes, no problem, okay. Then I offer to them to give them to email them the list of question. All right. Uh, at 10 o'clock, I was getting ready to go to for the interview in the afternoon. At 11 o'clock, I received call. Sorry, Encik Rahimi, we have to cancel your appointment. All right. So those type of uh, unfortunate event, okay, sometime happen. All right. When you do your uh, data collection. All right. So don't get frustrated. Okay. And of course, financial is very important. Uh, Over here, we do we do offer certain scholarships to students who are qualified. All right. So try to use those uh, assistance. All right. If I'm not mistaken, postgraduate give you allocation for to attend seminar as well. So make use of it. Okay. Last time was about 1,500. Okay, if you are doing PhD for the duration of 3 years. Okay, and certain amount if you are doing master. All right, because you're expected to attend seminar and you're expected to write to submit paper to for publication. All right, so whenever you can get assistance from the university, try uh, to utilize them. All right. Time management, allocate your time properly for family, work, and study. Okay, take 5, reward yourself. Okay, so in the case of time management, all right, especially if you are having family, so make sure you allocate your time properly. Okay, and take 5, reward yourself, because I believe uh, you should reward yourself. In my case, when I did my PhD last time, uh, I target every chapter to finish within 2 or 3 months. Then after that, I go holiday. Okay, after 3 years, almost all uh, major cities in Europe we went there already. Okay, so I think the same thing you can do here. Try finish one chapter, then after that go. to Pulau, okay, go to have holiday, all right. Try take the train from KK Tanjung Aru to Tenem, for instance, okay. Just reward yourself, okay, or go to Mount Kinabalu, okay. So because study is study, but you should enjoy, okay, your life as a student, and especially if you're not Sabahan, okay, if you're from Semenanjung or from overseas, okay, our foreign student, then try to get acquaintance with the people here and experience, okay, the local attractions. All right, we have a lot of attractions around KK or throughout Sabah, so try to make use, okay, give yourself 5 days holiday, okay, after you finish one chapter. Then motivation, why do you study, how important is the degree to you, okay, job requirement, etc., etc. Don't don't do plagiarism. Don't copy other people's work. Over here, you're expected to submit your draft to turn it in. Research funding, okay. So it will be good, okay, if your research is covered by certain research grant, okay. Some lecturers, okay, they obtain research grant, and the research grant require them to produce master or PhD student, okay. So you can use part of the research grant for your study purposes, okay. Go for field work, all right. Distribute your survey, etc., etc. And proofreading, okay, and this is the most important thing, okay, the way I see it, especially if you're doing submit for your thesis, okay, viva, sorry, all right. Maybe at the stage of PD, not so, but it will be good, okay, you proofread your work before sending it out, okay. uh, Try to avoid Google translation, okay. You remember at one time, okay, one students use a lot of Google translation, okay, that the I don't understand what have been written, okay. Errors such as typos, okay, should be reduced, all right. Grammar may be a bit difficult, okay, but try to reduce the uh, mistakes, okay, as much as possible, even at the PD stage. I think that's all right. So I hope I have shared with you important thing about how to write academic proposal, and I do hope that the sharing is beneficial. All right. So the success is dependent on effort. All the best to all of you. All right. Thank you. I welcome any question if there is any. Any question?
Hello, Prof.
Yeah, I'm listening.
Okay, from Kini, yeah. Okay.
Mm.
Now, actually, I just want to ask the advice from you, how to overcome this writing issue. Like sometimes when like for example, like the last time I write a article or the assignment is about 10 years ago. Now, when I try to study my PhD and try to write again, sometimes there is a fear, like worry the grammar or worry the paragraph structure or the paragraph flow, like inconfidence.
You don't feel confidence to write, is it?
Yes, because sometimes it's like too long, like no writing, so that's caused me like a bit fear to write. How to overcome this? Yeah.
Okay, if it is purely feeling of fear to write because you have left the school for so
How many
long.
doses you want there?
How many doses?
Second.
Hello. All right.
Yes, doctor.
So if you are referring to the fear emerge because of you have left the school for so long. All right. Then my view, okay, the best way to overcome it, okay, is to have a proper plan that like what I've mentioned to you. Okay, I give you example. In my case, okay, I left school in 1992. I graduated. Okay, then after that I joined stockbroking firm. Right, I only resume writing. Okay, 10 years later. All right, and of course I feel the same anxiety like you. Okay, the writing style probably have changed throughout the period. The statistical, I already forgotten everything. I've forgotten about how to do the statistic, everything. But if you approach the issue properly, like I mentioned to you, you have to practice. You have to read. Okay, that is why taking notes is very important. The more you read, the more you're familiar with the writing style. You follow? All right. Just imagine if you read 10 papers, okay, 20 papers a day. Okay. Slowly you will develop your writing skill. And
Okay.
after that you should practice. There's no need for you
Okay.
to wait until everything perfect.
Yes.
Okay. Even though I mentioned to you that we try to avoid students to report things chronologically, but if
Ah.
that is how you develop your writing style, so be it. Try first. Because later, when you add up your reading, okay, when you take more notes, okay, when you expose to more writing style, okay, then slowly you will improve that. Okay, later on, before you submit to your supervisor, you will look back into your draft, your first draft, then you will see there are things that you can improvise. Okay, so
Okay.
rather than report them chronologically, you will be able to synthesize them. Okay, so first, don't think about perfection.
Yes.
You have to write
That's my
something.
problem. The perfect.
Ah, you have to write something.
The perfect.
Ah,
Ah.
all right, because you have left the academic world for so long. All right, so
Yes.
during that period, okay, things have
Mm.
changed. All right,
Mm.
I hope I answer your question.
Yes, doctor. Actually, what you say is right because like, sometimes when we hold a perfectionism, the idea of perfectionism, whenever right until the half when the thing's not going to what I hope, I will keep like delete whatever I have write, okay, and then try to rewrite again, then delete again, and eventually it's
Oh,
like become
uh,
give up.
don't do that. Don't do that. That is why I said not taking writing plan is important. Okay,
Okay.
that is why I always advise students. Okay, if you're doing PhD, the first 6 months just read, just take note, read, take note, read, take note. Okay,
Okay.
uh, unless if you're very good, okay, in terms of writing, then you can start reading and writing. Otherwise, just
Okay.
focus on reading first. Okay.
Okay. Thanks, Prof. Okay.
Okay. Thank you, Timmy. All right.
Thank you.
Any other issue, question?
Good, good morning, Prof.
Morning. Yeah, please.
I'm on as because I'm part-time student,
Okay.
so I think sometimes normally for this claim the budget pre prepared by the uh, postgraduate student. Hello.
Hello. Yeah, I'm listening.
Uh,
Continue. Yes.
because some some allocation prepared by the postgraduate center to the only to the full-time
Full-time
postgraduate
student.
student.
Okay.
Yes, because I think some because I also even though I work I have work and then the for the financial purpose, I still need some allocation from postgraduate center, but as I know, the postgraduate center only allow for the full-time student. Yes.
Full-time students, correct.
I don't know why. Can you give me an advice?
As far this type of question should be asked to postgraduate center. I give my opinion, okay, but you have to ask this question to postgraduate center, and if necessary, okay, get someone to raise, okay, the issue to the center. We have the faculty where you can talk to the deputy dean, okay, about this, and we also have the students union, student society, where you can talk to the society and ask this issue to be brought, okay, to the center. However, why they focus on full-time student, okay, I guess because normally full-time students means they are full-time student, they are not working. All right, and the financial assistance given is not free actually. Okay, it comes with some certain commitment. Okay, in our case, as far as I know, if I'm not mistaken, yeah, they were given the assistant, but they are also have to contribute to the faculty. Okay, there's certain hours in a week. If I'm not mistaken, about 6 hours per week. All right, where they have to work with uh contribute to the university, so most of them being used as a tutor. Okay, yeah, appointed as tutor to help the lecturer, or some of them being asked to work to contribute in the faculty, okay, doing some clerical work, whatever, which in most cases they have to they have to to jaga, okay, they have to work with the resource center. All right, you follow, so it is not
Yeah.
FOC per se, right? So if you're also working, it will be very difficult for you to be at the campus 6 hours in a week.
Oh yeah, yeah.
All right, so
Because we all have to. It's a compulsory to join the conference and all these things.
okay,
Same way, but it's also need cost.
okay,
That's
on
why.
that, I'm not so sure, I forgotten already whether or not the financial assistance to attend conference, the 1500 I mentioned, if you're doing a PhD, whether or not it is available to part-time student.
No, no,
If
because
it is not,
last time, I ever claim but rejected.
got rejected.
Yeah.
Oh, if that is the
They
case,
mention
what
to me only for full-time student.
maybe high time for us to consider also lah. If it is not, if not, nobody voice this out, okay, then yeah, there are some considerations lah. All right, I'll bring this matter up to Deputy Dean. Okay, and on the part of the students, it will be good also if you channel this concern to the higher up. Okay.
Yeah,
So
for future student,
yes,
part-time
yeah,
student.
yeah. If you don't mention it, so nothing happen. But at least if you, yeah, if you say something, maybe it will be listened, right?
Okay,
Maybe not
okay.
1500, maybe 500. Okay.
Maybe 50% or
Maybe 50%. Yeah. Hopefully lah. All right. Yeah.
okay. Thanks, Prof.
I'm
Okay.
sorry about that. Yeah. Thank you.
Thanks.
Any other issue, concern, question?
Assalamualaikum, Prof.
Salam. Yeah.
Saya Azura.
Azura. Yeah.
Ya, saya nak tanya, saya dalam prepare lah untuk proposal defense, kan? tadi Prof tunjuk table yang literature review tu, and
Okay.
then Prof ada mention yang at least dalam artikel tu 100 lah articles kan. If let's say lah saya punya proposal tu artikel tu dalam bentuk yang table-table tak cukup buat dalam 100, macam mana Prof, boleh ke? So, saya rasa kalau dah full TC then dia akan ada tambah lagi lah for the LR tu. Tapi for this time being untuk proposal tu macam saya tengok alamak takut macam tak cukup ikut yang requirement yang Prof tunjuk tadi tu lah.
Okay, as I mentioned tadi, jumlah artikel tu, okay,
Ya.
there's no rule of thumb.
Okay.
Kita tak kata PhD student must produce 100, 200, 150, 250 articles. No.
Okay.
Okay. Alright. It very much depends on the subject matter. You are doing on wakaf. I know wakaf a bit limited. Okay. In
Yes,
terms of
yes, yes.
publications, especially the scholarly writing. Okay, on wakaf. Okay, memang dia tak banyak tu. Okay, yang banyak kemungkinan dalam bentuk newspaper, article, okay, ataupun magazine. Yang peer review tak banyak. Okay, because this wakaf only becoming interest among scholars mungkin dalam 10 years ago, right? Dia agak baru, okay? So don't worry so much, okay? Yang penting ialah whatever articles yang you pilih tu relevant to you, okay? And allow you to basically make argument, alright? Tapi macam saya sebut tadi, kalau dia widely research topic, so examiners will expect you to write more, to read more, okay? For instance, like macam widely research topic, umpama dia macam I show just now, portfolio evaluation. Itu sejak 1952. Alright. So if a student comes to me and tell me that, show me that he or she only read 50 papers, then I say tak cukup. Memang tak cukup. Okay. Alright. So don't worry about the number. Yang penting adalah the quality, okay, of that paper that you have cited. Okay.
Prof, saya cuba untuk proceedkan macam kalau dekat overseas organisasi bukan keuntungan untuk macam kita Institution of Wakaf in Malaysia. Untuk jurnal-jurnal macam tu, yes, saya rasa itu boleh ada boleh tambah untuk my literature lah. Tapi exactly kalau nak overseas tu kita nak cari of course memang tak adalah for institution wakaf, tapi I try to proceed with the another organisation which is like macam kita proceedkan sebagai NGO lah untuk macam itulah organisasi bukan keuntungan ataupun yang
betul.
NGO tu I try to sebab kalau tak literature saya memang tak banyak, not very supported. Tu boleh ke Prof? Sebab now macam baru I macam okay lah, so from that macam I boleh explore banyak lagi kan about the NGO punya management, then saya nak try to apply with my management wakaf in Malaysia ni. So daripada situ baru saya boleh nampak angle mana, gap mana dan baru ni. Kalau tak macam I rasa macam very limited with my literature review. Is it okay Prof? So I rasa buat masa sekarang ni untuk BP mungkin maybe tak cukup. Then bila I dah collect data, dah interview, dah develop questionnaire semua, dan daripada sikit I rasa literature tu boleh jadi ikut requirement yang Prof nak lah, macam nak 100 ke 200 literature ke, itu lebih best lah bila thesis tu kan. Ya, sekarang saya macam got worry lah, takut my LRD tak cukup untuk nak support thesis saya tu.
So those of you who attended these sessions, okay, don't worry so much about the numbers of articles you read, okay? Tadi macam I sebut lah, there's no rule of thumb how many articles you have to read if you're doing master or PhD. Tapi of course we expect the LR to be as many as possible. Okay, depending on the topic. So to answer your questions, yes, if you're talking about wakaf institutions, so very limited. Okay, in Malaysia, maybe some in Indonesia, okay, Singapore. So if you want to, kalau you nak katakan dapatkan artikel yang relevant, okay, di overseas especially. So mungkin di overseas such kind of institution bukan dalam bentuk wakaf, mungkin dia dalam bentuk endowment.
Yes.
Ataupun foundation. Okay.
Yes.
So yeah, you boleh ambil, okay, as long
Okay,
as
Prof.
ada similarity between wakaf institutions dengan those donate apa ni foundations, okay, ataupun endowment, okay, macam tu, alright, NGO, so don't worry about that, okay.
Okay, okay. Thank you, Prof. Thank you.
Hmm.
Bye-bye. Okay.
Okay, ada lagi siapa ada lagi nak tanya? Tak ada. Alright. So if no question, once again, thank you for your attendance. I do hope I've given you the some guide, okay, uh, fruitful guide, okay, for you to do your academic proposal and later proposal defense. If you have any question, you can just text me later. All right. So once again, thank you. Stay safe and good luck in your study. All right. So thank you. Assalamualaikum dan salam sejahtera. I serah balik kepada Urustia. All right.
Okay, thank you,
Okay,
Prof.
thank you, Prof. Thank you very
Thank you, Prof.
much.
Thank you, Prof. Bye.
Uh, sorry, is Cyril still here? Cyril? Hello?
Dia sudah keluar tuh.
Sudah keluar? Alamak, kesian. Ada soalan dia di sini. Do you mention about quality? Do we need to really focus on high impact article? Whenever possible, try to use high impact article. Okay, as I mentioned to you, they are based on the sequence lah. First academic article, okay, yang bawah sekali will be those newspaper and magazine. Okay, within the articles, of course, if there is a high impact articles, then use the high impact articles. All right, but there's nothing stopping you from using any of those article. All right.
Boleh ambil gambar kah, Prof?
Boleh. Jap. Ya, sepertinya ambil gambar
boleh
ni, El.
buka semua. Ya.
Ada sudah yang live, kesian. Kalau nah.
Yang
Mana?
lain boleh apa tuh pasang kamera.
Okey. Minta dorang pasang kamera then.
Satu orang sejak Prof yang
Ya,
pasang
itulah mana.
kamera ni.
Mana yang lain? Astaga.
Aduh.
Terpaksalah ambil gambar sendiri.
Si ambil gambar sajalah, Prof. Okey.
You pun tak buka kamera, El?
Urusnya emang terbuka kamera tuh, Prof. Biasa dia student yang kena buka. Okey, siap.
Ada sudah. Azura, you driving ke?
Ya, baru nak ke office.
Oh. You dah submit ke you punya draft hari tu?
Ada nak polish lagi, Prof. Sebab
Ada lagi kan?
susun. Nak kena susun balik. Bila baca balik, alamak, ni macam balik-balik ni nak kena susun. Chapter 1 pergi chapter 2, chapter 2 pergi chapter 1. Ada benda nak edit lagi. Tengah structure balik. Dah tulis dah habis. tinggal nak
Okay.
susun.
So give yourself katakan 2 minggu, then submit, okay?
Okay.
Okay.
Nanti
Sebab
kita
kalau
tak
kita rasa, ya.
boleh.
Okay.
InsyaAllah.
1, 2, smile. Kejap ah. 1, 2, smile. Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Okay,
Naim,
thank you.
nanti kita bincang, okay?
Ya. Ya, Prof.
Okay, Zura, thank you. Naim, nanti
Okay,
kita
thank
bincang,
you.
okay? I text you
Ya.
nanti. Right.
Ya.
Okay, thank you, bye.
Bye.
Thank you, Prof.
Thank you.
Thank you.